Hey there guys, CrossFlux here, and welcome back to Let's Play Cookie Run OvenBreak. In the last episode, we tackled Land 3, got a little bit further from the witch's domain, and today's episode I'm going to try and do a little bit better of a job explaining a few of the other concepts that make the game important, as well as covering a new cookie trial. So remember how last time I went over how certain cookies have affection? Well, I didn't really explain how you build that up. So once each day, when the day rolls over, you're able to click on the cookie up to 3 times, and that will increase their affection, which I'll demonstrate with my cocoa cookie right now. It's pretty neat. They have little cute animations and little dialogue choices, but you can only click on a cookie for affection 3 times a day, and it's only 2 points each, with a max affection of cookies being 1,000. Now, the cookie that you have out will give you a daily reward. So, in this case, Cocoa Cookie gives me a few coins every day. Some cookies will give you rainbow cubes, which you use to buy costumes. Some will give you diamonds, which I went over yesterday, are the premium currency, and that lets you buy gotchas. So, that is really better in my opinion. I would prefer to go for cookies that give you diamonds or cubes, unless you're really struggling for cash. But besides clicking on a cookie to increase their affection, once you've gotten their daily mission, or their daily gift, you can return the favor and give them a gift. So right next to that heart icon, there's a little present. And so each cookie has certain things they like more than others. You can look up guides for that sort of stuff. Right now I have an event going on where I have a super big surplus of this restoring ink that's just going to disappear when the event ends anyways. So I'm just going to give this to her to give her 5 points. Now if it's a cookie's favorite item, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's 10 points, and I'll show the correct amount on screen now. But that's not all. The main way of increasing affection for a cookie is simply leveling them up and running with them. So depending on how long you run with them, at the end of a stage, you will increase a cookie's affection, alternatively increasing their level, their associated pets level, or their magic candy level will each increase it by 30. So pretty neat stuff, and obviously the more affection you have, the better rewards you have for running with that cookie. Now, not only that, but in addition to an affection system, it will unlock certain things called relationships. So I'm going to go into my cookies section here, and again, I'll continue to use Cocoa Cookie as an example because she's one of my favorites. Alright, so we've already seen how to look at a cookie story, which is obviously to the left side. But again, right below it, there is a button for relationships. So the more affection you have for cookies, the more of these relationships you can unlock. So when you click on cookies, it kind of gives you a little bit of insight to how this cookie feels towards others. So it's a little bit of lore and world building, so pretty neat stuff in my opinion. Alright, so up next I want to go over magic candy, because again I've hinted at it throughout the Let's Play, but I haven't really gone into detail. But before I can do that, I really have to explore the laboratory. So to do that, you're going to go to the top right corner of your screen to open up extra options, and then the bottom right option beyond that is your laboratory. Now there are all tons and kinds and things and majiggers that you can make in your laboratory. So whenever you run with cookies, you've noticed that you can pick up mystery little ingredient pouches, and they give you little crafting items basically. So you use those items to make these items here in the laboratory. You know, simple crafting system. Obviously, you're going to see tons and tons of magic candies. And again, not every cookie has magic candy, but Dev Sisters is working on that, usually with more updates and whatnot. So, for example, let's scroll all the way back up here to the top. Come on. It's a little laggy sometimes. Alright, so let's take a look at this rainbow cubes. Let's see if I'm able to make some. Okay, good. So certain items, the better the items they are, there is going to be a cooldown once you make some. So here it looks like I need 2 solid purple crystals, 2 solid blue crystals, and 2 rainbow cube things, or pale cubes, or whatever they're called. Yeah, pale cube. Alright, so I actually do not have these cubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy them with blessing powder, which is more or less another form of currency, and yes, mobile games love doing this. Luckily, it's not too bad to get blessing powder. As you can see, I have over 50,000 blessing powder, so I'm good for a little while. And then after that, it takes money to make stuff in the laboratory as well. So I'm going to mix these ingredients together, just, you know, slop it in, no need for measuring, anything like that, and wham bam, I've got some rainbow cubes. So I'm well on my way to getting a new costume because of that. But as you can see, there is now a timer. I have to wait every 3 days before I can make more rainbow cubes. Usually the timer's not too bad, and again, if it's a really good item, I kind of see why they would do something like that. But now let's take a look at a magic candy, because again, you access that through the laboratory. Now, each candy will have 2 more or less common ingredients, and then a unique ingredient to each cookie. So obviously, Coco's magic candy will require cocoa powder, which you can get this stuff, again, either by buying it through blessing powder, which is kind of expensive for these unique types of ingredients. And then if it's a Cookie's magic candy and they have a trial, most of your trial rewards will grant you ingredients that you use to make the magic candy. So that is your main way of quickly getting magic candy. Now, in my experience, because the higher the level of the magic candy, the less likely it is to succeed, because that's the thing. You can fail at making magic candy. But, of course, again, you usually don't have a high chance of that happening until you get to the higher levels, like 3, 4, and 5. With that being said, you'll probably have to spend some blessing powder to get the rest of the ingredients, because you're not going to get enough through the trials to max out the candy unless you're really lucky with nothing but successes. But that's really all I want to talk about for now as far as the nuts and bolts. I know I just did last episode as some of this stuff as well. I just wanted to fill in a few of the details that I kind of left out because I did a poor job at explaining it, in my opinion. And I don't want this video to go on for too long, so I'm gonna be done with the information. Information dumped out. I'm pooped. I'm dumped. So let's take a look at a cookie trial. Because, you know, when you're exhausted, I can't think of anything else better to do than to perform in a trial. So up today is white chocolate cookie. So in real life, I don't really like white chocolate. I used to love it as a kid, but as I've gotten older, I guess my taste buds changed. I don't know, I just don't really care for it that much anymore. But as far as a cookie goes, I do really like white choco cookie. She has this kind of French, like, fancy noble duelist. And obviously, as you can see from her animation, she wields a rapier. So I really like that aesthetic. So she's one of my favorite cookies, design-wise. But let's take a look at who she is. A cookie made of indulgent gourmet white chocolate. White Choco Cookie's moves are both elegant and precise. With her fencing sword, she is sharp and graceful. Without it, she remains delicate and precise. Watch her perfect hair shine with every step she takes. White Choco Cookie can always be found surrounded by her devoted cookie fans. With her excellent skill and dapper appearance, it's no wonder she makes the hearts of her female fans bubble with adoration. So it looks like a lot of the other female cookies in this world look up to her, probably because she's such a great warrior. And of course, we'll take a quick look at her pet. It looks like it's just a stopwatch. Yeah. So he creates blast jellies, the things that make you run really fast every so often, which is, it's pretty good as an ability. Nothing can slip through this strict referee, but don't be alarmed. Once the match is over, it will be the gentlest pet you've ever seen. Just make sure you don't touch its mustache. No one touches the stash. No one touches the dew. Alrighty then. Time to get on with the trial itself. Alright. So I really want to appreciate, or thank you guys for sticking with this Let's Play so far. I know it's been a little rough around the edges, because, well, I'm kind of getting my bearings. Like I've mentioned before, this is definitely a strange Let's Play compared to ones that I've done in the past. So, again, I really appreciate you guys, and hopefully I will get better at commentating and covering this kind of game with quality content. But without any further ado, let's explain how White Choco Cookie works, because she actually has several different abilities, and again, some of that is because of her magic candy. So as you can see, she has a green bar that charges up over time, and she can stack up to a maximum of 5 of these bars. Now, while she slides, she fills up this bar, and once it goes yellow, it's ready to activate. So once you're done sliding, she'll do like a little thrust, like you're seeing here, which destroys obstacles, creating jellies, and her magic candy, while she's sliding, it grants her a pretty big magnetic effect, as you can see. So it gives you more of an incentive to stay sliding. Because, yeah, it's kind of hard to activate her skill and still manage to collect jellies in the area because, well, if you're sliding, you're probably missing jellies. So the magnetic effect helps to make up for that. So she's one of my favorite cookies to use mechanically. I like the idea of using the sliding mechanic because some cookies just don't really use it that well, and it's a real shame. I mean, they gave the option to slide, so why not put it to good use? Alright, so one thing I'm not a big fan of though is, as fun as bonus time is and as effective as it is, it can get a little boring sometimes because there's only a handful of different bonus time stages. Like certain cookie trials will have unique bonus time aesthetics and whatnot and layouts, but for the most part there's only a handful of bonus time, I guess you'd call it layouts of the jelly placements. And so once you kind of have your path memorized, it's kind of simple. You can kind of mix it up, but there's usually one default path through the bonus time that's more effective than others. And so, you know, why would you do anything other than that if you know what the good path is? Alright, so we're actually making quite a bit of progress here. And as soon as I say that, I fall into a hole. Well, mistakes happen. I guess that's what the pocket referee is for. Alright, well, unfortunately we are getting a little close to time, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Next time in the Let's Play, we're going to cover another aspect of the game, and it's quite a large part. It doesn't get a lot of love or attention these days. It's kind of been an abandoned concept, which is actually kind of what the trials are an evolution of. So we're going to take a step back into the past next time. So I appreciate you guys watching this episode, as I've said before, and as always, have a blessed day. See you then.